Welcome back, America. It's Hugh Hewitt. Kevin McCarthy led the Republicans to victory in 2020 and to a majority in 2022. He's the GOP leader right now. He's the Speaker-designate of the conference, and he will be the Speaker come January. Good morning, Leader McCarthy. Welcome.
Good morning. Thanks for having me back on.
It's great to talk to you. I was just berating the Knucklehead Caucus, and I know you're a gentleman. You won't single out people. But these 5 Republicans are screwing up the transition. Are they retreating? Are they going to let things move forward, Leader McCarthy?
Well, we're still continuing to talk, but they have not moved. And the difficulty here is that, we're the only Republican entity stopping the Biden administration, but we're also going to be the only ones that can move forward. But it would delay everything, getting committees up and running, being able to do the things that we need to get done from the very beginning.
Well, the very most important thing, I'll name 2, the Select Committee on China, which you've announced Representative Gallagher is the chair, and I'm very happy about that, and your focus on the border. And I just talked with Governor Youngkin about the fentanyl flood in Virginia. Do they not realize they are screwing up the staffing and standing up of these 2 important efforts, both border control and the Select Committee on China?
I hope they do, because, we want to hit on the very first day. The very first day, we want to repeal 87,000 IRS agents. We want to be able to secure the border. And we know that fentanyl that's coming across, you don't just stop that by at the border, where it begins in China. And one thing you have always been so good at is pointing out China's goals around the world, and that's why I stood up a new select committee on China. It will be Republicans and Democrats. Congressman Gallagher will chair it. He's an excellent member with great knowledge. But to speak with one voice, to standing up to China, I think long-term is so important. And to get that going on the very first day and not be able to have staff now, it's just going to delay us months. And it gives Democrats the advantage when that happens.
It does. And they did not do this when they took over the House back when the House was lost 6 years ago. Nancy Pelosi had it all stood up. And it's just what the Democrats do better than the Republicans, which is agree, disagree in private, and get together in public. When will we know the extent of how many members are going to be on the Select Committee on China, Speaker-designate McCarthy?
Well, if we could get the Speaker's race put together before the 3rd, we could announce that on the 3rd and get it up and running and have the action start working. I have communicated with Hakeem Jeffries, the minority leader, telling him my intentions, not just of the Select Committee, but long-term for this committee, that I want serious members on it. I don't want political games. I want to speak with one voice. I want to tackle the challenges and bring those manufacturing jobs back to America. Look at the areas that China has gone. When you think about from medical, from critical minerals and others, where China has been controlling this. We don't want to be dependent on anybody, and especially not China. Their buildup, their plans to where they're moving towards. We've got a lot of work to do, and every day that we fall behind is another day lost.
So, Speaker-designate McCarthy, when you see these 5 in the hallways, and it really is just 5 people who are screwing this up, do they avert their gaze? Do they know that? I mean, the criticism of them is growing and it's swelling. Do they not want to diffuse their own political crises?
I believe in the end they will, but this is the real challenge, you. After the election, and you were right, I mean, if you look to Republican governors, Republican senators, the presidency, in the last 2 cycles, Republicans have lost, but there's been one entity that we've won. I've been leader for 4 years. I won last election cycle and this election cycle. We won the majority. They don't hand gavels out in small, medium, and large. They give you a one-size gavel. If you're concerned about the border, you're concerned about accountability, there can't be one subpoena to go out. You can't oversee. You've got to get the process up and running. Only 3 times in the last 75 years has the House flipped from Democrat to Republican. There's a lot of different items that have to get done, people and places. This delays it all. But after that election, we had our primary. We had a discussion. We had the conference decide. They got to vote in a secret ballot who they wanted to have their designee on the floor that day. I won with 85% of the vote. I would believe, like even in the Freedom Caucus, they have an 80% rule, that all of them have to vote for something if 80% of them agree. I just believe this is a win for the Democrats. They're sitting back, and we can't allow that to happen. We are the only individual standing in the way of stopping more Democratic bad policy.
May I also add, I think they're screwing up candidate recruitment for 2024. You did a great job with Juan Ciscomani and many other new members. Am I right about that, that the delay is even delaying your particular personal efforts to recruit people for 2024?
It's not only delaying that, it's being prepared to not only defend the majority, but grow the majority. You want to take advantage of having the majority. Remember, this is a presidential year, so you only have so many months to really get out there and govern, and you want to hit the ground running. Every day you lose, if you lose a quarter, you don't start strong. So you don't get new, stronger candidates. You don't get more resources to be able to supply those candidates to get the message out. And people look at us and believe, are you ready to be the majority if this is what's happening? How can you pass the big bills? How can you change the course of history? How can you secure the border? How you can become energy independent? How you can pass the Parents' Bill of Rights? It's all in jeopardy.
It's all in jeopardy, and I hope Leader McCarthy, soon to be Speaker McCarthy, the 5 in the Knucklehead Caucus get the message. Thank you for joining me this morning. Congratulations again, 2 in a row. Looking forward to 3 in a row in 2024. GOP Leader, soon to be Speaker McCarthy, thank you.